Hello there. Hello there. As you know, I did a series of videos on the DC Man of Steel, explaining sort of stuff and things like that. And I said I was going to leave it and stuff. I'm working on a sort of I'm not sure if I finished it. I am working on two videos where it's like my reasons for why I want the 2013 is better than the new one, and also a video on what I liked about the new one. So you know what I mean. So I'm not a complete dick about it. You know what I mean. But however, I mean I am a bit brutal, but it's fair. You know what I mean. But anyway, the point is, with this video, I found this video that was like blew me away. I mean, his review, when he did a review of it, when he actually went to see the film, he was like, "What the fuck," you know, and things like that. But anyway, the channel in question is OntheflyX, and it's called Zack Snyder's Man of Steel is a much better film than James Gunn's Superman Legacy. It's in two parts, so we react. I mean, even though I've seen it, what I mean is I'm going to watch over it, and share my thoughts, why I agree with him, and etc. Okay, but yeah, if you want to watch it raw, that's what she said. Or if you think, do you know what, you're right, that is a bloody good video. Where can I get this video so I can share it? It's there for you to use as well. So, so anyway, incidentally, you know, because people go, "I'll move on," and all sorts of nonsense. But here's the thing: in the new video, sorry, not new video, on the video that I'll be working on as well, that says why I like it. Obviously, you'll see why. You know what I mean, etc. But anyway, enough of this. Let's see what this gentleman has to say. Yes. Incidentally, I'm not sure how much of this video will actually survive intact because it may get copyrighted or blocked, or some bits might get blocked or whatever. Hopefully that won't be the case, because last time I had an ink with Superman Man of Steel. Oh, yeah. Well, actually no. The other videos I did were Batman vs Superman allowed it so for whatever reason, because I found this really good video of a comparison. It was like, oh, just imagine someone doing a live action version of a cartoon or something, and it literally shows you basically all the things you've seen in Man of Steel. Sorry, not Man of Steel. Yeah, both Man of Steel, etc., has been done in comics and that before, and it shows you side by side. It's got Man of Steel playing here and the thing down here. It's hilarious. It's kind of like when you see that, even that. I mean, a lot of people will still argue it because they're idiots, but when you see that, you're like, it's funny, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, if it happens anywhere else, it's okay, we accept it. It's a comic book film. But anything that's tied to Zack Snyder's name, it's shit. It's bad writing. It's just petty bullshit. Hey.
Everybody, this is Sean, and you're watching OntheflyX, and this is part one of why I feel that Zack Snyder's Man of Steel is much better than James Gunn Superman Legacy. Imagine growing up, hearing all your life,
we wanted you to learn what it meant to be human first. So that one day...
Also, he gets on to the bit about Jonathan Kent, but can I just point out before I forget, that's not in my notes, and I didn't put it in the original one about him not saving his father and stuff. It's like, clearly people didn't think this through, because it's like, did you not watch Smallville when Clark saves Lana from the tornado? It's like, we're talking about, like, was it an F4, F5 tornado that literally destroys most of Smallville, and she miraculously survives. Everyone sees her car get spin up, or people, you know, the witnesses, or they see their car, or they find their car, and it's like, how the fuck did you survive that? There's no way on earth you could survive that, right? So it's like, he saves the bus. That's an instant red flag. That's one red flag. That's already like drawn attention to you. His dad being sucked up into a tornado and miraculously surviving. Only a complete bird brain moron would do that. And I was watching Injustice, the cartoon, even though it's not as good as the actual game. It kind of oh, I forgot my point. But yeah, it kind of points out why that's just silly. You know what I mean? Why it's silly. Well, that's right. Yeah, Well, that's it, right. So, him exposing his secret in every other comic or any iteration of Superman shows you why that's a bad idea. Not only will the ones he cares about gets hurt, which is obvious. That's why every superhero has a secret identity, duh. You might as well say, Batman might as well come out and say, I'm Bruce fucking Wayne. But also, the bad guys can manipulate. That's one of the things that actually I put in my notes, so I'm going to throw out there now. One of the things that people go, Henry Cavill isn't human, Superman isn't human enough. He hasn't got any humanity, he's aura farming. Well, no, it's precisely because of his humanity is how his enemies get the better of him. You know, he doesn't have to justify his humanity to Zod or Lex Luthor. They know he's a friggin' human because he got brought up on a farm. And they use that humanity to attack him. And, you know what I mean? It's the same as Superman 2. Zod saw that he cared for humans. So he started trashing the place until he flew off. Stop picking it. Separate Snyder from the Man of Steel. Stop picking at it, silly. I'm not saying you who are watching this, but people need to stop this stupid nonsense just because it's got Zack Synder. Go watch every Superman animated series, including the most popular ones. They all do.
James Gunn Superman. Unless you want to count that end of the movie dialogue where we feel like we're supposed to relate. It feels forced. It doesn't feel sincere. Reason being is because they just throw you right into the movie. For all we know, this is the first time that he's lost a battle. We don't know anything about his history. And I do understand that it's only so many times that we...
Incidentally, like I said in my essay, they could have done it like Fantastic Four. Like, you know, instead of having the writing saying metahumans, obviously they didn't have TV 300 years ago, but you can have clay tablets, you know, just, you know, the way Fantastic Four opened up. We had newspaper clippings, TV. They could have done it like that. Instead of writing, show us the thing, that build-up sort of thing.
Listen to a Superman story. No, this is the first time that he's lost a battle. We don't know anything about his history. And I do understand that it's only so many times that we can listen to a Superman story. But the fact of the matter is, this is a brand new one. So in some way, form, or capacity, you must introduce him to the world. We don't know what his upbringings are. We just know by small clips that doesn't really show us anything. We need to see the emotion, not nothing forced.
And the other thing is because the way it starts off, you don't think, well, some of you might have done, but if you know what sort of caliber, you probably think, oh, you got bad taste in films because you clearly like, you know, Man of Steel and that. Fine, think whatever you want. But the thing is, I've watched some really mind-bending films. I've watched the films where people have gone, I don't get that. I watch really high-caliber films. I can cope with high-caliber films, if it makes sense. You know, ones that get, you know, quite intellectual and stuff like that. But the thing is, for me, it's like when you see the beginning of the film, because there's no build-up, it's just writing, and hits the eyes. You don't think, oh my God, what's happened to Superman? It just feels empty, flat. You know what I mean?
Let's switch gears for a second. When you think of Superman, what do you see? When I watch the Snyderverse Superman, how I look at Superman is, he is a god among men, indestructible, unstoppable, yet he kneels to no throne, only to the weight of the truth. A true beacon of hope, wrapped in flesh and fire, soaring not above us, but for us. Strength without cruelty, power with compassion, justice given form.
Amen, brother.
The very first time that I'm introduced to James Gunn Superman.
Also, lucky enough, this is some trailer stuff, and I react to trailer. It will come up probably copyright for that, but it'll be like, oh, they allow you to use this blah 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 on the thing.
He looks very powerless, unsure. He doesn't seem like a god among men. He seems very weak. I can't look to the sky and say, that's my Superman. How?
See, when I look, as you can see, because I don't mean this horrible way, he made a good, he's a good Superman, but it's just the writing, and he's the same curse as Brandon Roth, because when I see him on the press release, I don't, you may see him as Superman, that's fair, your kids might, because like I said, it's more, yeah, like I said in my review, it's probably more targeted towards kids, that's all very good, you know. Don't take what I say as bad, I'm just saying from how I feel, you have to be honest in my feelings. When I see David Cornsweet, because the film didn't leave enough impact on me, when I see him, it's just, oh, it's David Cornsweet. But even if I see Henry Cavill, like the horse races, I'm like, oh my god, it's Superman. My brain is like, it's burnt into my psyche. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like when you see, it's like Pierce Brosnan hates to be casted as James Bond. I hate to say it, he did a good job as James Bond, so every time I see Pierce Brosnan, I think James Bond, even though my favourite is Sean Connery. So before anyone says Snyder Tard, or whatever you call it, Snyder Bro, my favourite will always be Christopher Reeve. No one can beat Christopher Reeve. Because I grew up with him, and you know, also I grew up with him, so that's fair. So if you grew up with David Cornsweet, he's going to be your Superman, fair, I understand. But even still, from a contemporary Superman, for me, it's Henry. So far, it's Henry Cavill. Roth did a good job, but he was filling the shoes of Reeve and stuff. But again, he did a good job, bad delivery. It's the same with this one. That's why I gave it 6 to 7, sort of thing. But anyway, yeah. So he did, and people go, oh, he's aura farming. But the scary thing is, the new Superman has no aura. You know what I mean? The Cavill Superman doesn't need to farm aura. He just gives off Superman. You just look at him and go, yeah, he does actually feel like Superman. The new one doesn't give off that aura of Superman. And that's not the actor's fault, it's the way the film was written, yeah?
How am I supposed to look up? Weak. I can't look to the sky and say, that's my Superman. How am I supposed to look up when he's always down? Vulnerable. He's no Superman.
And I want to throw this one as well in, a bit of a spoiler for my video, but it's kind of like, people keep saying that, you know, Cavill Superman was Injustice Superman. Well, no, because that dark future was to do with the anti-life equation, which takes you over. We see it in the cartoons where Batman's taken over, all these people are taken over by it, right? So you lose your free will and stuff. The irony is, considering all the actions that the new Superman does and the way he handles emotion, it's like in his journey, after he kills Zod, you know, Man of Steel, that trauma, that brutal act that he had to do, is his part of the journey going, I'm not going to kill anymore, right? So when that happens, he then promises, no matter what, I'm going to hold back, no more killing, right? He could have after he found out his mum was abducted, he could have gone Homelander on Lex Luthor, right? He could have gone Homelander on Batman, but he didn't. No matter what you do to him, he restrains himself. The new Superman, he flies off the handle over a dog. He flies over a handle when people don't appreciate what he does. Now, I know they're trying to make him human, and that may work for a younger generation, but the thing is, when you look at it philosophically, it's like the whole idea, it's like in Star Trek. You could be a captain doing the right thing, but if you're emotionally compromised, you could potentially be a danger to the mission, right? The fact he flies off the handle because people don't appreciate what he does, and he flies off the handle because over a dog. Imagine What would happen if it was Lois that got the bullet in the head? Right? And the way he deals with emotion. He's actually one family member. No, okay, he got his parents still, and Lois and Jimmy. Let's just say he's not that far away of being pushed towards being Injustice Superman, right? And because the way he handles emotions, and don't forget, he's got 3 years' experience. It's like, why has he not got a lid on it already? You know what I mean? The irony is, he's more likely to become Injustice Superman because he can't keep a lid on his emotions. Cavill's like, fuck, you know, Cavill, Man of Steel was like, oh my god, this is what, you know, look at what I've done, look what I'm capable of doing, and then stops. It's like, how many times could he kill Batman? You know, we all know, physics aside, comic book aside, Superman could just kill you just by flicking you if you wanted. Well, was it Dean Cain's Superman? I know Dean Cain's not popular because he's a MAGA, but you know when he had that boxing match, he went pink with his little pinky and knocked the guy out. So if he wanted to, and he smacked, you know, landed a, you know, haymaker on Batman, that's it, game over. He could have killed Batman. He could have killed Lex. He could have gone to town ages ago in these films, right? And if Lois wasn't there, he would have killed Batman when he was resurrected. So we know what he's like when he's unleashed. So it's like, and the fact that he held back all that control. Whereas the new Batman, the new Superman, see the way he acts.
Emotional restraint. This is exactly what he did. You know who doesn't have emotional restraint? You guessed it. James.
I'm sorry, and I know it sounds horrible, but it's so true.
Gunn, Clark Kent / Superman. He is so filled with emotion that he can't control. Even a hashtag of super shit definitely set him off. The man was whiny, argumentative, and he had feelings, and he just didn't know how to deal with them.
Again, not David's fault. It's the right script writer, direction, etc.
Things that really affected him in his everyday life.
I like him as Superman.
Though he's called Superman, his actions make him behave like a little boy. Thank you to everyone who watched this video in its entirety. I will have a part 2 coming up shortly.
So yeah, I like him as Superman, but it didn't feel like Superman. But anyway, let's get to part 2. Can I pause this? Yeah.
Why I think Zack Snyder's Man of Steel is a way better film than James Gunn's Superman Legacy. Now, over the past few days, I have been looking at a lot of videos. I have been reading a lot of comments, and I'm just going to explain why I feel that this is the better film. Let's just get right to it. I hate to do it to your boy James Gunn, but I don't care, because a few things need to be pointed out. So let's get to example number 1.
It's quite funny because I noticed that this film's kind of pushed people to watching all the Superman films, and it's hilarious. I mean, it makes no difference whether or not Cavill will come back. The point is, it still is a fundamental point of also why it's failing internationally, or it's not so popular internationally, because they say it's anti-American because it's an anti-American sentiment, but it's not. Loads of films are doing better which are American. Captain America: Brave New World. It's like China and those sort of places are supposed to be racist. Apparently, they don't like apparently they weren't going to like a black character like they did Star Wars, which is nonsense. Tell me nonsense. There's loads of posters in China and Japan of, is it John Boyega? That did well internationally. So it's a case of, well, no, because you didn't leave. Warner Brothers screwed over Henry Cavill, who was at the time everyone's favourite Superman, and still is in many circles, as I'll explain in a minute. And then it's kind of like, put this way, no one made a film of Superman very close to when Christopher Reeve died. You know what I mean? It's kind of like too soon. You know what I mean? So WB screwed over Cavill. Even James Gunn said that. Even James Gunn has said he didn't like the way Cavill was treated. You've done that to him, and then you expect everyone to jump on board with your new Superman, irregardless of who's to blame. It's kind of like, too soon. You know what I mean? It's like the obituary's just come out. Now you've announced there's a new Superman after the fact that you tickled everyone's balls by saying that there's a Man of Steel 2 where he fights or was it Man of Tomorrow where he fights Brainiac, Justice League. There's actually a bloody picture, a poster there was actually a decent plan, and despite all the rumours, it actually sounded really good. And it was like shit. And all I can say is like Disney. Imagine Disney brought out Infinity War, and you're like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what's coming in Endgame, and then Disney like atomize it like that, like quick as Thanos' snap a finger. Yeah. How many Marvel fans would be pissed? You know what I mean? It's like, and then Feige comes out and goes, right, we've got a new Iron Man coming out. It'd be like, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Exhibit A. I hate to do it to your boy James Gunn, but I don't care. Because a few things need to be pointed out.
It's nothing to do with Snyder.
So let's get to example.
Sorry, yeah. So it's nothing to do with Snyder. So yeah, I was going to say, sorry, what I forgot, is all the online posts, it's like, because of the new film, it's like Man of Steel has actually become popular on streaming channels. But if you put a vote, any poll online, on any platform, social media platform, the poll, they pick Cavill over Cornsweat. Despite all the hate you see for him online. Bit bizarre, that. It's like, the thing is, a lot of people don't speak up. A lot of people just go, you know what I mean? Because people go about Snyder Bros. I'm not a Snyder Bro, but the thing is, the Gunn fans, they're tribal. They come up at you in packs. You can't say anything bad about the film. It's like the Ghostbusters, the all-females Ghostbusters, right? It was shit. Yeah, an insult to the original Ghostbusters. But if you criticised it, you were ganged up on and called sexist. No, it was shit. I love the cast, and I know they can do better. I've seen them never work. But the film was dire. It was like, and the graphics was like Nickelodeon. Complete trite. But you couldn't say it was complete trite or criticise it anyway. I'm not saying the new film's dire. I'm just saying it was a bit, you know what I mean? But you can't say that. Because you get attacked by the Gun tribe. You know what I mean? It's mental.
Rule number 1. Exhibit A, should I say. Now, some people can say that I'm reaching, and that's cool. Maybe I am reaching. But we all know that Superman got a million stories, different writers. But we're going to go with just straight, we just going to go with the movies. Now, the example that I'm going to make is, does this look familiar?
Before he gets onto that, incidentally as well, the actual plot of the new film matches Batman v Superman. Lex Luthor tries to, Superman gets involved in conflict. Lex Luthor tries to convince the government, tries to turn people against him, tries to get the government to do the thing, and then creates a monster to kill him. It's the same. If you look at the plots, although Batman vs Superman deals with the politics better, because it actually has real philosophers or scientists cameoing it on, making their point about it. But the actual plots are basically near enough the same. It's silly.
Or am I tweaking? But if you're trying to figure it out, let me help you. That ain't enough, huh? That's cool. I got you. Don't worry about it. Now, of course, for obvious reason, I can't show the film, but I can show you the screenshots.
Thank God he said that, because that means he hasn't been flagged for the rest of it. So fingers crossed we won't get flagged for stuff. Because to be fair, I'm not being monetized anyway at the point, but I think I don't want it blocked. I want you to be able to see it, or I don't want chunks of it taken out.
Now, as y'all can see, these nanotechs trying to choke out Superman it looks exactly like the Man of Steel version. I know I'm reaching, but I can do that. But check it out. Like, out of all the things you could have used, why would you use the nanotechs to try to choke him out? You feel me? So before I keep going, check this out. Got But no, we not done. We just getting started. There was many moments when they said Henry Cavill Superman was too stoic. He showed no emotion, no personality. He barely got to talk. But let's pull up a scene to where I think people kind of said that the most. Why didn't he react? You know, Superman would have done.
I've done a video on this, and I even explained it using science. I know it's a comic book film, but still. Believe it or not, when I put it on Facebook, people, well, there was one idiot who challenged it, but the rest of everyone, was it on the main video about this on Facebook? I just went, boom, and explained it. And it's because there's so many excuses, and I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to shut this pettiness up with science, and they were like, no one reacted. It was fucking hilarious. The whole thing went, the whole thread went dead. It was like,
yes, he would have saved this person. All of these things. But you have to understand why he acted the way he acted. Let me break it down to you.
I'm grateful to our witness for coming before us today. This is how a democracy works. We talk to each other. We act by the consent of the governed, sir. I have sat here before to say that shadow interventions will not...
The other thing as well, a bit of a spoiler for my thing, but he also, the thing is, he also does respect the law, unlike the new Superman where he just hides off or something, or, you know, he turned himself in because of a dog. Cavill Superman turned himself in because the people were turning against, not just because the people were turning against him, he wanted to do aura farming, but because he respected the law. He wanted to show that he does respect the law. So he turned himself in because he was following the law, the right thing to do. Whereas the new Superman just was like, well, went off and sulked and then turned himself in just because of a friggin' dog.
Be tolerated by this committee. Neither will lies.
Nothing wrong with that. I'll probably do the same, like fucking take one dog.
Because today
John Wick special. Yeah.
is a day for truth. Because only by speaking only by working together can we can
I just say, I just noticed now, what makes me laugh is, though, what does make me laugh, and it's not Snyder's fault, because people within films do stupid things. If you work for Lex Luthor, he hasn't shown up and something's going down. It's like, you know what Lex Luthor's like. I wouldn't sit in that room. I wouldn't trust him. Oh yeah, no, you better stay here, otherwise it looks suspicious that I'm not here. Oh right, so you want to blow me up? Fuck off.
can we create a free and a
The fact that what gets me actually pissed in that. Lex is not there. Oh look, he's aura farming.
Stop. This is not a scene of him being emotionless. This is him giving the people trust, and he failed. This is something that haunts them. Am I their hero? Am I their champion? He knows that he could have saved those people. But he was so blinded by hate that he didn't look into what he needed to. He didn't realize that this was all a setup. He was too busy trying to make out what they thought of him.
Which is another good way of putting it as well, compared to different, I think. Obviously, there's other factors like lead and all sorts of science. But it's like, that's the thing, you see. That's what, in a way, yeah, I mean, Lex Luthor. The thing is, that what makes you laugh is Lex Luthor is not brilliant in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. But the thing is, what he does is quite clever. The whole setup is quite clever. When you look at it, it's really clever what he does. So don't forget, he's not just toying with Batman. He's toying with Superman as well. So the whole thing is clever. He didn't, you know what I mean?
If only he had just paid attention. So it's not him acting emotionless. It's that he knew better. He should have done better. He should have protected the people.
See, and whilst you're giving him a hard time, he's actually, it's that thing where people, even people say, you know, when you say to people, I don't care if you judge me, because I am, you know, you're the worst judge of yourself. You know, we're more hard on ourselves than anyone else could ever be. So why should we care what anyone thinks about us? Yeah. So it's like, you're having a go, you're hating him for the scene. Be in his shoes. He feels 10 times frigging worse, and yet you're ploughing into him. Where's your empathy? Where's your emotion? Where's your kindness that this new film is supposed to be teaching you? I'm pretty sure the new Superman would actually treat him a lot kindly and go, look, mate, it's understandable considering what you've been through, etc. You know what I mean? It's funny as well. The new film teaches kindness, and those who like the new film are not practicing the message of the new film. It's like, Jesus. It's like, ironically, that they attack. It's like some people just go, let it go, move on. It's like, here's my ultimate view of Superman. It's like James Bond, yeah? There are different versions of James Bond. We all love all the different James Bonds. We may not think they're all good, but we all like them. It's James Bond. We all like all the good Bonds. But out of all those Bonds, we have our favourites. We might have our OG one. So like with Superman, my OGs are Christopher Reeve. So it would be Christopher Reeve Superman, James Bond, Sean Connery. But I also love Pierce Brosnan and Roger Moore, because it's the humour, and you know, where it's just, you know, I know he's a womanizer, but it's just funny, the whole thing, the way he gets caught and stuff. It's like, what are you doing, 007? You know, it's like he's like a serious version of Austin Powers, you know what I mean? But I also like Pierce Brosnan. I like Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig seems more like an SAS kind of guy. But for my modern Bond, I like Pierce Brosnan more than Daniel Craig. But that's okay, because I like all the Bonds. You see what I'm getting at? And it's like, you know what I mean? You can see why I get frustrated. It's like, stop bullying people because they don't like the new Superman film. I'm glad kids like the new Superman film, because it keeps the genre going, keeps the legend going. But then again, not being horrible, a lot of kids have seen Man of Steel and have gone, and a lot of people gone said, I enjoyed it, but my kid was actually sat there going, what the fuck am I watching? And that's a kid. You know what I mean? It's like, the kids who don't like the new film as well. You'd think the dog would win them on it, but it's like, come on, I'm throwing a cute dog. My other thing as well is, another spoiler for my thing, is the reason why Man of Steel and Christopher Nolan's Batman worked is because it went away from being goofy. Being goofy and colourful and goofy was great for selling toys and merchandise, but that's what killed Batman franchise, because that's where they went with Batman and Robin. That's why that was shit. I mean, it is alright to a certain degree. I do like some of the emotion in it, but that's what killed the Batman franchise. So then you had this breath of fresh air with Man of Steel and the Nolan, Batman Nolan, right? Dark Knight series. Now you're going back. Maybe it's a sign of times, maybe because the world is so ugly we need it. But why go back to something that didn't work? If it's not broken, why fix it? You know what I mean?
But because of this act, he will be viewed as the very thing he's fighting against. I mean, he practically told y'all this, and y'all still getting on the man.
Yeah.
Obviously failed to stop him.
I didn't see it, Lo.
An exact number yet?
Standing right there, I didn't see it.
Clark, there are people behind this.
I'm afraid I didn't see it because I wasn't looking.
Oh, heaven forbid that he should make mistakes. You want a Superman that has humanity, that you can relate to as a human. You want to be able to see that human side. Fuck me, he's got powers of a god and he made a mistake. What's wrong with people? He's giving you the qualities that you bloody well want in a Superman, and then you attack him for it.
This
I'm
time,
not saying you, viewers, well.
I've been living my life the way my father saw it. Righting wrongs for a ghost. Thinking I'm here to do good. Superman was never real. Just the dream of a farmer from Kansas.
That farmer's dream is all some people have. It's all that gives them hope. This means something.
See, and Lois tries to pick him up. She doesn't argue with him about what he's doing. You know what I mean? And also, look how much he's punishing himself. He doesn't need you to do it for him, ladies and gentlemen. That's showing humanity. That's showing the humanity that you wanted in a Superman. And yet you're fucking attacking the guy. I'm not saying those of you initially watching it, you probably get where it's all coming from and agree with it. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying. People who attack him.
On my world.
I can see the Statue of Liberty from here.
Y'all see what I did there? A very serious emotional moment. And then here comes a joke. That's the James Gunn formula. Don't y'all get tired of that?
And this is the other problem with the Gunn films.
It's like it immediately takes you out of the movie. It's like you watching the film, you watching James Gunn, just like, oh man, this is a very emotional moment. Then boom, some elementary school ass joke. But Superman saves everybody. Oh yeah? Well, did he save this person?
Go on, you mangy buzzards, and don't come back.
Savor your moment of triumph, Superman. But remember, victory has its price.
How about this person?
So I'll quickly on it. See, the other thing is, what's disappointing is he's done Guardians of the Galaxy. The humour is better than that. It's properly timed. It's not forced, right? Thor, Love and Thunder, this is how bad it is, has more emotion than the new Superman film. The way he handles humour in a new Superman film, especially the fucking dog, no offence, I do love Crypto, but he gets thrown in at stupid points. Imagine, again, I don't want to bother doing the essay because I'm giving most of it good bits away. But imagine that scene, right, where Thor is leant over Jane and she's telling me she's got type 6 cancer, whatever it is, and she's dying of cancer. And she's dying. She's going to die. There's no coming back from it. She's going to die. She's dying. That's it. Game over. He's going to lose the woman that he loves. And then 2 seconds within that tense silence, someone does a really long, funny, outstretched fart. Kills that whole scene. That's what James Gunn does in this new film. And And if he didn't go back, and if Christopher Reeve didn't go back in time, she would have remained dead. You can't save everyone. In fact, in one of the films, I can't remember which one it is, Lois does say to him, "You can't be everywhere. Why do you think he has the Justice League? Yes, he has the power of a god, and he is the big gun, so to speak, but that's why he forms the Justice League, so they can get to areas he can't get to in time. So there's more than one thing going on. They deal with that bit, he deals with that bit, and a network, yeah?" In Superman Returns, it does go a bit because it is supposed to be the same incarnation as Christopher Reeve Superman, where it's like, oh, we theorise that Superman can go around the Earth at the speed of light. It's reality bending science, because to be fair, it doesn't matter if you doesn't matter if you travel at the speed of light, because someone's still falling or something's still happening. So by the time you grab that person, put them down, that person on the other side of the globe is still dead, no matter what you do. So it's stupid. It's far-fetched. So, but that's why he has the Justice League, so they can coordinate, network. Yeah, you can't save everyone. Oh, Superman saves everyone. Shut up, you tart. So if it wasn't the fact he goes back in time, she'll be dead in that film. Love you, Christopher Reeve. See, being that he can run fast in a train as well, what you could easily, if you want to be nitpicky, you can go, well, why didn't he save his dad from the heart attack? Why didn't he speed him to the hospital? Because he could travel faster than speeding a train. It's because his dad was dead before he hit the floor. But you want to be that's how stupidly nitpicky people want to be with this sort of stuff. And sorry to butt in that, but also if it come the point about if it's not broken, why fix it, right? As anyone said to me as well, especially the thing is, I know people who hate comic book films altogether, but they like Man of Steel. They think it's okay, right? But their argument is, if you want a comic book accurate Superman, why keep trying to do that? If you want that, just go back and watch Christopher Reeve Superman. He does it hands down perfectly. Why do you need to copy that again? Oh, but we need to introduce it to kids. Show that film again. It's that simple. Show your kids that film. I mean, how many times does the Bible get shown to people? How many times does the old comic books, you pass on your old comic books to kids? You know, here's my Superman collection. You introduce some Superman that way, yeah, as well. So why rehash it and then why make it 80s again? You know what I mean? They're trying to hit nostalgia, but it didn't, you know what I mean? So why do that? Just go back and watch Christopher Reeve. However, if you are going to do it, then you do it like Christopher Nolan's Batman and Man of Steel. You do it from a different, refreshing, more contemporary take, not saying that's 80s. You do it differently. The difference between, okay, you could say the new film is like a cartoon, comic book cartoon, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Man of Steel. Man of Steel does it from a realistic viewpoint. Yeah. Christopher Reeve, the problem with Christopher Reeve Superman, bless it, and I love it. It's my favourite. Don't forget, it's my favourite. See, look, I'm digging on my own favourite, right? Everyone accepted it. The government, the people, they accepted him from day one. Hello, is that really going to happen? In Man of Steel, he had to earn their trust. After 3 years of Gunn Superman being in service, the public worship him, but nobody respects him. The other heroes don't respect him. Lex Luthor isn't scared of him. No one respects him. He's been out for 3 years. To judge Man of Steel as rubbish is harsh. That's day one Superman. And the thing is, though, he does work his way and earn their trust. Like when he saves the soldiers, they're like, "So okay, man, he's with us." He earns their trust. It's more realistic. The way they do it, it's like, and the way he saves people, sticks his nose into things. He'll be public enemy number one because it's like, hang on, we want to sell our weapons to that country, and he's sticking his nose in. They did it in Quest for Peace, where they went to Lex Luthor behind his back. Yeah? Same with the new film. It's basically Quest for Peace. Elements from the old films. It's like you're taking ideas from old films and other films and nothing original. You know what I mean? So it does it. It's more realistic. It's like Superman won't be accepted on day one like that. He'll be like, what the? He'll be seen as a threat. You know what I mean? And he would have to earn their trust. And then, but he does that in Man of Steel. And yes, he's hesitant. Of course, he bloody is. Have you not seen human nature? Have you not seen the way people treat each other over a comic book character? Come on, seriously? And you wonder why he's seen the worst of people. You can see why he's fucking hesitant. Excuse my language. I better turn it down because he's going to scream.
Stop. He was so distraught that he broke the Speed Force.
Oh yeah, baby.
But he still couldn't save her. But I'm going to give you that, though. He did break the Speed Force. I didn't know he was capable of doing that. But let me tell you who also couldn't save anybody. Yep, you guessed it. James Gunn Superman. It's not to tear him down or anything like that. It's just...
Exactly, I don't think.
Even though he is a Superman, even though he has the ability to do superhuman things, every Superman is flawed. Now, I know I brought up a...
Also, can I just point out, when I watched it recently, right? Again, I don't know what the F everyone's about. It's not Superman and Zod's fight that has destroyed Metropolis. It's the bloody spaceship. The city was already wrecked before this fight kicked off. And what makes you laugh as well, did you know, and they go, in a new film, they try and justify it by going, in the new one, oh, they evacuated the city. It's like, when the kaiju fight was happening, everyone was doing what typical humans do. Get their phone out. Which is good. Actually, the thing is, the good thing about the new Superman film as well, it does show an analogy of how messed up society is. How people turn their back on you because of social media. Oh, spoilers for my Why I Like Superman. The new Superman. And it does show the joke of society in that respect. It's like, oh, because people go, why would you stand there? But they would, wouldn't they? If you saw a spaceship, you'd be like, oh, phone out. You know what I mean? Well, I wouldn't, but like I said, if someone said to me, oh, look, there's a UFO out there, I'd be like, and? You've always doubted that they exist. I've always been open-minded to the idea, you know what I mean? But it's like people would stand there and they go like that. It's like, but one, they don't have time to evacuate a city in Man of Steel because it's just the spaceships just suddenly come out of nowhere. But the funny thing is, what makes me laugh, out of all this, Avengers. New York gets totally obliterated. Hulk and the Avengers are blasting through buildings, fighting through buildings full of people. No one bats an eyelid. I bet you they would, though. I bet you'll all be criticising the Avengers if Zack Snyder was the director. Not the viewers. When I say all of you, I'm not saying the viewers, because some of you obviously get what I'm getting at. I mean the ones who are criticising, the Snyder haters, okay? No one complains about all the shit going down in New York in the Avengers. And yet Man of Steel, oh, look at that. Most of that is the World Engine, whatever you want to call it, yeah? That's not him and Zod fighting. It's safe to say that city was pretty trashed and screwed anyway. You're essentially fighting on a graveyard. I'm happy that he done that. Injustice Superman would have just, wouldn't even begged, he would just gone, shoo. Actually, he would have snapped his neck at the start of the fight. First chance he had to grab hold of him, snap. Yeah, he's a really evil, murderous Superman. Idiot.
In the face of adversity, he made a choice.
See, look how bad it's
and though it goes against his morals, he must live with it.
And that's what made him, in his part of the journey, no more killing. Hence why he didn't flat out kill Batman or Lex. You could just hunt them down and went, sorry mate, you caused too much trouble. Or could have gone Homelander. Put Snyder to one side. I know some of you hate Snyder and have a bit of a crush or hard on for Snyder. Just put that to one side and think, yeah? Look at the situation and think about it.
With James Gunn Superman, you see how lighthearted this dude is. He's saving everybody. You got people saying, oh man, Superman is the best. They cheering for him, all of those things. And after one video showing that his parents wanted him to rule the earth, dominate, or, you know, take over the women or something like that, when I say them people turned on him at the drop of a dime, I'm talking about they straight up just flipped on him. Hated the man. Man had to go to, you know, he had to go to jail. It's like, damn, like over this, like over what somebody else saying, y'all just automatically just do him like that? And that's the reason why Henry Cavill Superman, he was hated. It was earned. They felt that he was responsible. The lives lost, the destruction. They didn't know anything about him. They just knew that this powerful man is the reason why their parents died.
See, so the people who hate Cavill Superman saying he's a murderer are actually, see, this is the irony. It just occurred to me as this is now. This is why the film's so good. You're feeling what the people are feeling, or some of the people are feeling. Those of us who understand are still with him. We're like Lois. We're on his side. Those of you who are saying he's a murderous Superman, you've been drawn in, mate. You're with the people who go, oh, it's your fault that my granddad or whatever got killed in that building. But you didn't see that coming. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What if, ironically, all that hate you think is somehow to do with your genuine hate for Snyder? Or maybe it was so, the cinematography was so good, you were like, shit, I've been drawn in. I was like, oh my God, why are you not hating this guy? He causes destruction. Clever, that, isn't it?
Nieces, their nephews, anything. But anyways, example number 2. Let's get back to this. Oh man, you know, James Gunn is so amazing. But he stole another thing from Man of Steel. Let's check it out.
Surrendering to mankind. There's a difference.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one.
Gotcha, bitch!
So it will.
So, I mean, not funny, it's terrible. Look at the plot, the main plot of Batman vs Superman and the plot of the new film. It's...
give James Gunn credit. There was a scene in the film where Clark was talking to Paul Kent. Clark Kent was very confused, emotional. He couldn't quite understand the message. The message of him taking over Earth. The humans are stupid. You know, start to breed, just take over the planet. And Clark Kent was pretty much in a battle with himself, filled with emotions, like, man, how could they mean this? I thought that they were good. And there was a moment when Paul Kent was basically telling him, it doesn't matter what your biological parents say. It's about the choices that you make. That's the point that I have been trying to bring up with this whole project that I'm doing. But even though they had a heartfelt moment, there was nothing like that Man of Steel from Zack Snyder. When he...
So, I forgot what I was going to go with it. Yeah, no, it's gone. Oh, that's right, yeah. That was going to say, because... But it's so true, and it's such a good point in the film, in the new film. Because it's like, you and I know, we all know. Say, when it comes to homophobia, racism, anything like that, kids are not born like that, are they? They're taught that. So you could have a father who's homophobic. You could have a father who's xenophobic. You can have some of the worstest parents on the planet. But ultimately, it's up to you how you live your life, what decisions you make, whether it be ideological decisions, life decisions, etc. It's you at the end of the day that governs your own path. And sometimes bad parenting can be just as good, because sometimes you can look at it and go, well, that's not how I'm going to do it when I'm a dad or a parent or whatever. And unfortunately there are some who do repeat the footsteps, because that form of environment or abuse is seen as natural, so it's therefore imprinted on them, so to speak. So, but in general, you go, that's not how I'm going to bring up my kid. So it's like, sometimes we may see parents spoil their kids, and it may not be a good idea, but we don't know the situation, their history. They could have had a really crap childhood, and they're like, I'm not going to give that to my kid. I'm not going to give a crap, I'm going to make sure my kid has a really nice childhood. Whether they do it right or wrong is up to, whatever. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So it's like, you ultimately have the choice. And that's what's good about that's what's also good about the new film, is it does say, it's up to you, man. Who gives a shit if, the way the world is at the moment, it's anti-immigrant, anti-trans, anti-this. You don't have to follow that footsteps. You could set the example. You could rise above that. You could walk into the light. You could be a beacon of light to guide people, to encourage them, say, you don't have to follow that way. You feel awkward because you want to speak up against all this hate, all this negativity. Fuck it, do it. You decide your own destiny. You don't have to follow the herd just because that's the way it is. You make your own choices. You know what I mean?
So in closing, I'll say this. I understand that we are in a time where we got that superhero fatigue, but at the end of the day, we talking about Superman. I know some people were kind of fatigued with so-called Henry Cavill. He doesn't have any emotion, whatever the case may be. But James Gunn, Zack Snyder, and you telling me Superman Legacy is better than Man of Steel? This is the question I gotta ask you.
You smoke crack, don't you?
But until then, post your comments down below. I'll catch y'all on the fly. Peace.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that video, share my thoughts of it, and yeah. I can come across a bit brutal sometimes, but this is how silly and nitpicking and all the hating's going and stuff like that. But and not being funny, all opinions. At the end of the day, it's all opinion. But at the end of the day, like I said, in the other video, it is fun. It is a fun way to delve in as well. But like I said, if you like what you saw from the thing, like I said, and you want to use it or whatever, it's in the description below, the two parts. But anyway, but for the moment, I shall just leave you to digest all that. And yeah, like I said, there's the new film's okay. It works for its own reasons and that. But to say the Man is still shit and all that, and all the hate it's getting, it's silly. There's no need for it. So, thanks for watching. Take care. Be well.